Okay, let's just jump right in. We are living through this massive, massive shift in AI. I mean, we've gone from those clunky, kind of dumb chatbots to systems that feel genuinely intelligent, that can reason and create. Now, if you're a software developer, this isn't just another trend. It's a whole new world opening up. So think of this as your personal roadmap to building a career right on that cutting edge.
You know the feeling, right? We've all been there. You're trying to get a simple answer from a support bot, and you're just stuck in this ridiculous loop, typing the same thing over and over. It feels like you're arguing with a brick wall. Well, that shared frustration, that's actually the perfect place to start, because it shows us just how far we've come.
And this slide really breaks down that massive shift. On one side, you have the old world, rigid, rule-based chatbots that were incredibly expensive and took forever to build. On the other, you have the new world of large language models, or LLMs. These things are flexible, they're generative, and they can have surprisingly natural conversations. The entire game has changed. We've gone from programming strict rules to guiding an existing intelligence.
But, and this is a huge but, all this new power comes with a very specific, very tricky new problem: hallucination. This is what happens when an LLM, trying its best to be helpful, just makes stuff up. It will confidently give you an answer that sounds totally plausible, but it's completely false, simply because the real answer wasn't in its training data. For any serious business application, that's a total deal breaker. So the most important question for any aspiring AI engineer is, how do you fix that? So how do we tame these hallucinations? Well, the answer is a really cool technique that is powering pretty much all of the most reliable AI systems today. It's a little something called the RAG revolution. The full name is Retrieval Augmented Generation, but pretty much everyone just calls it RAG. The concept behind it is actually beautiful in its simplicity. Instead of just relying on the LLM's vast but static memory, you basically give it an open book exam. Before it even tries to generate an answer, the system first retrieves relevant, up-to-date facts from an external source, like your company's latest reports, and then it gives that context to the model. It grounds the AI in reality.
Okay, so here's the play-by-play. First, you ingest your data, all your documents, your web pages, whatever you've got. Then, that data gets broken down into smaller, meaningful chunks. Each one of those chunks is then converted into a numerical representation. We call it an embedding, and stored in a special kind of database called a vector database, which is super fast for searching. Now, when a user asks a question, the system instantly retrieves the most relevant chunks, and, here's the key, it sends both the user's question and those factual chunks to the LLM to generate the final answer. The result? An answer that's actually based on fact. It's so powerful.
Now, this brings up a really common question. Why do this instead of just fine-tuning a model? Well, fine-tuning, which is basically retraining an entire model, is incredibly expensive. We're talking massive GPU costs and a ton of time. RAG is so much more cost-effective and flexible. You can update its knowledge base in real time. But maybe the biggest win for RAG is data security. Your private data stays separate from the model. Whereas with fine-tuning, the model basically absorbs your data, which can be a huge risk.
Okay, so RAG is amazing. It solves the problem of getting factual answers. But the real goal here isn't just to answer questions. It's to actually get things done. And that's where we level up, moving beyond simple Q&A and into building with AI agents.
An AI agent is a complete game changer. It's an autonomous system that doesn't just talk, it acts. It can reason about a problem, break it down into a multi-step plan, and then actually use tools like calling an external API or querying a database to execute that plan. We're moving from a conversational search engine to, essentially, a virtual employee. Now, to build these agents, you need new kinds of frameworks, and this analogy just nails the difference. LangChain, which is super popular, is like a cooking recipe. It's fantastic for linear, step-by-step processes. But LangGraph is more like a blueprint for a robot's brain. It lets you create complex, cyclical workflows where the agent can loop, make decisions, and branch off in different directions. For a truly autonomous system, you absolutely need that kind of flexibility. All right, so we've covered some seriously powerful technology. But what does this all mean for you and for your career? How do you actually go from being a great developer today to being a sought-after AI engineer tomorrow? Let's map it out. This right here is the single most important mindset shift you need to make. The job is no longer about building the model itself, it's about building the entire system around the model.
Your most valuable skill is designing the reliable, scalable architecture that the AI can operate inside of. It's time to start thinking like an architect, not just a coder.
And look, this isn't just a theory. This is a real-world timeline of a software veteran with 20 years of experience who made this exact transition. It didn't happen overnight. It started with self-study, then leveraging their existing web dev skills on a project that was AI adjacent. From there, it was a strategic progression, focusing on a niche, publishing their work, building their first RAG system, and eventually leading development of advanced AI agents. This is a real, achievable path.
So what specific skills should you be focused on? This is what hiring managers are looking for right now. You absolutely need high-performance back-end skills. Think fast API. System architecture is completely non-negotiable. You have to understand model serving and infrastructure, be comfortable with both traditional relational databases and the new vector DBs, and of course, you have to master automation with CI/CD pipelines. This is the toolkit of the modern AI engineer.
So, let's wrap this up with your action guide. What do you do on Monday? First, start small. Build a simple, full-stack chatbot project from end to end just to understand all the moving parts. Second, build a platform for yourself. Start a tech blog, contribute to open source, prove what you know. Third, always think bigger. Don't just aim to be the coder, aim to be the architect who designs the whole system. And finally, be strategic. Don't throw away your experience. Your software engineering skills are not obsolete. They're the foundation you will build your entire AI career on.
So we've covered the whole journey, from frustrating bots to intelligent agents, the tech like RAG and LangGraph that makes it all possible, and a clear roadmap to becoming an architect of these new systems. The technology is here, the demand is skyrocketing, and the path forward is clearer than it has ever been. So the only question left is, what are you going to build?